Good evening, everyone, and we welcome you all to the stadium, to the Swarnim Gujarat Sports University, the epicenter of what is going to be the grand finale of the AIFF Club Futsal Championship, the third edition of it. And it has been a tournament to remember. The grand finale is slated to be played between Corbett FC and Golazo Football Club. Both the teams, they have put up quite a show so far, and it goes without saying that they will be putting their best foot forward.
Hello and welcome to all the viewers joining in. What a tournament we have had. Two teams undefeated, unbeaten, and two deserving spots in the finals. Corbett FC and Golazo Football Club have made it through. We'll have the coaches. Let's hear from them what they have to say before they face off in the finals.
First of all, thank you very much, sir. And the approach maybe slightly changed for the finals. I think last match we have a lot of mistakes in the second half, and we try to rectify that mistakes. Opponents are good and well experienced players, and they are more tactical and technically good. And let's see. We had a 2 weeks camp in our campus in Uttarakhand, and last 3 days before the tournament we came here and practice here in the same floor, and it was a good experience during the camp, and boys prepared well for the tournament.
Definitely, we'll be carrying on more of the same. I've told the boys to go out here, and it's a final, a big occasion. For some of them, it's the first time. For some of us, it's the second, the third time. I've just told them to go out there and enjoy themselves today. Corbett FC have proven to be a very strong opponent throughout the tournament, scoring goals for free, and I think they're going to come out the same way as they have throughout the tournament, and I think it's going to be a cracker of a final. Incredible. All credit to the players for adapting to the tactics and the techniques that I've taught them over a short span of time. And all credit goes to them. And I hope they can enjoy themselves today and we can come out victorious.
I feel excited and determined. We have worked hard to get here, and I'm ready to give my best to reach our goals. Thank you.
Tell us about your preparation for the final.
Our preparation has been focused on analyzing our opponent, fine tuning tactics, and building team communication, and we'll give our best.
Of course, it feels great. This is something we were thinking about from the first day itself, right from training, and we aimed to reach here and win this as well. So let's see what's going to happen. It's going to be an intense match. So yeah, of course, coming into the final, Corbett have been unbeaten themselves. So we have had a close look at their game, and we've prepared a few strategies around that. Let's see what's going to happen though. They are the only team who are unbeaten yet in this tournament, and unfortunately for one team, someone's going to get beaten today. But they're really great opponent, great mix, and it's going to be a very great game. To be honest, it's been great. I've been playing this for the past 3 years, and this has been the most punctual and on time. Everything is organized correct, and we had a really good time over here.
Like
Well, you
Scott
heard it
Richard
from the
mentioned,
captains and well, apologies
only
for
one
that,
team would
Junaid, and
prevail.
yes,
That's right. That's right, Rohit. Here's a quick look of how Corbett FC have made it through Group A. They've been unbeaten, scoring goals left, right, and centre. They haven't been tested, but yes, that semi-final encounter against the Emblem Sports Club, they were stretched on how they prevailed in the end after a brilliant run of form enjoyed by Lalrat Swanga and Aaron De Costa and the others. It's been a great tournament so far, Corbett FC. We'll have to wait and see how it pans out for them in the finals.
and that's a look at the Golazo Football Club's route so far. And Golazo, they started off with a 9-2 victory against Kasa Barwani Soccer Club, and then Delhi Football Club were blown apart to pieces by 12-0, and then JCT Football Academy were no match for Golazo Football Club either. Then in the quarter-final, they romped over Mammalat FC before eventually eking out an absolute thriller against FC Tyrrell in the semi-final. They have quite a few names that will be ringing and doing the rounds. A quick look at the top scorers of the tournament. PC Lalruat Sangha right at the top, 15 goals for Corbett
And
FC.
now,
For
the
Stephen
moment we
Satarkar with
all have been
13
waiting
goals
for.
from
Let's
Golazo
welcome
Football
our
Club.
finalists, Corbett FC and Golazo Football Club.
That's right, Lalruat Swanga there right at the top of the pile, scoring in quarterfinals and in the semis. In fact, ended up scoring a hat-trick in the quarterfinal. Lalruat Swanga sitting on right on top of the pile. Who will it be? Like the coaches, they are wary of the competition presented to them. These two teams have been a cut above the rest in terms of how they have played their game.
Well, right
The moment we all have been waiting for. Taking the center stage. Led by Dorji Bhutia and Scott Richard. In white and red are Corbett FC. The team from Uttarakhand up against the team from the Himachal. Golazo Football Club. The stage is set for an enthralling contest. How do you see this coming, Rohit?
Ladies and
Well,
gentlemen,
this is obviously one of the best
warm
tournaments,
welcome to our
best
guest
games of the
honors,
tournaments rather.
Mr.
And truth be told,
Satyanarayan Muthialu,
this
Acting
edition of the
Secretary
tournament
General
has also
of
been an
All India
absolute
Football
blockbuster.
Federation, accompanied
Make no
Mr.
mistake,
Vijay
both
Bali,
the teams,
AIFF
obviously, they
Executive
will
Committee
be
Member and Chairman of
hoping to keep that
AIFF
unbeaten
Futsal
run.
Committee, and Mr. Mulraj
And yes,
Singh
we have the
Chudasma,
dignitaries amongst
AFC
us,
Futsal
obviously,
and Beach
pretty
Soccer
revered
Committee
names
Member and
in the
Secretary
Indian
of
football
Gujarat
circuit,
State Football
and their
Association.
presence kind of lifts up the entire aura, the entire vibe of the tournament.
That's right. The dignitaries there meeting and wishing the player. Scott Richard introducing his men. And the referees. They've had a fantastic tournament themselves. Dorji Bhutia was tested in the semi-finals, but then stood big when the moment arrived. Aaron DeCosta, what a form he's had. Lepcha, Pratik Swami, of course, Janish Rana. It's going to be a fine finals, Rohit, because both the teams pretty well balanced, pretty much experienced. Scored goals left, right, and center, have looked brilliant defensively. And it's going to be an exciting set of 40 minutes going forward.
Yeah, undoubtedly, and I think a few names. I can see that they are they recently had another big tournament in the last month. For example, the likes of Aaron DeCosta, the like of Jensen Rana. Aaron DeCosta was a part of the Gujarat Futsal League that happened of late. Jensen Sin Rana is also a part of that Gujarat Futsal League. So obviously, they already had quite a signature tournament going forward. And don't forget the likes of Pratik Swami. He led a team in the Gujarat Super League. So yes, they are coming on the back of a massive tournament already, and they have the temperament going forward. So it goes without saying that both the teams are very well prepared, both the teams are very well combined, and this is going to be an absolute crackling, swashbuckling final. And what a way to spend Sunday evening if you are a futsal fan.
The refereeing contingent would be led by Ajay Singh, will be assisted by Vishal Mahendrabhai Vaja. The third referee is Umang Parmar, and the timekeeper for this fixture, Starling Wanyag. The match commissioner, of course, as always, Sandesh Sudhir Gadkari. Final photo ops before the all-important kickoff. We'll be calling the game from the comm box. I'm Junaid, and I'm alongside my co-commentator, Rohit Ganguly. Rohit, like we've mentioned, two unbeaten teams, and only one would prevail at the end of the 40 minutes here at the Swarnim Gujarat Sports University.
That's a starting five for Corbett FC. They have got the likes of Dorji Bhutia, their captain and goalkeeper. Lalbiag Suala, Malsum Tulunga Pautu, PC Lalruat Sanga, and Aaron D. Costa. On the bench, they have got Jenish Rana, John Shering Lepcha, John Malsum Tulunga, Sonam Lepcha, Vishal Dubey, Dishu Singh, Shivam Yadav, Pratik Swami, and Daksha Thatkankar. And they are being coached by Mohammad Rizwan.
For Golazo Football Club, coached by Joshua Stanvas. The starting five: Scott Richard, the skipper, starts in between the sticks. Lal Kima, Stephen Satarkar, Sachin Patil, Jay Sutar. And on the bench, Shiv Kumar Shetty, Ravi Kiran, Ishan Suraj Ayush, Shubham Gaikwad, Shubham Podgan, Augustin Savio De Mello, and Shabazz Rogankar. It's a strong lineup. We'll have to wait and see how this translates into a performance. Corbett FC in their white and red, and blue and black it is for Golazo Football Club. Waiting for the ref's whistle. Like we've been calling, this is going to be a cracking contest because both the teams have remained unbeaten right throughout. Scored 43 goals leading up to this final. Corbett FC conceded 8. And on the other hand, Golazo with 39 goals and conceding just 5.
I think as the captain of Golazo, Scott, well, we are underway here, and it is attacking from the left to the right. Corbett FC who gets us underway. And yeah, at the beginning of the game, I think Scott Morais, he told us all that there were a few changes in terms of strategy. One particular change that would be grabbing the limelight is the introduction of Jayesh Sutar at the very start. Because in the semi-final, Golazo didn't go forward for Jayesh right away. They eventually conceded a goal, and then they decided to bring on Jayesh, who went on to score a brace to bring them back. So which means they are resorting to their best playing 5, and they are not waiting for their opposition to make a move. I would say that's an attacking mindset right from the word go.
Well, that's right. In Corbett FC, they have relied heavily on those 5 starting. Shot comes in, is always going wide from there on. Relied heavily on the likes of Lalbiak Zwala and Pautu to start alongside Lal Rotswanga, of course, who has scored heavily in the competition. 15 goals is what he has managed. It's a game within a game. Lal Rotswanga up against Steven Satarkar. 2 top scorers in the competition so far. Who will it be at the end of the 40 minutes here in Gujarat? Shifted out towards the right. Back with number 9 of Golazo. Takes a couple of steps towards the right again. Goes back.
A very nice point that you emphasized upon there, Junaid, and that is battles within a battle. And I think that's very important in a grand occasion, a grand clash like this. It is the small rivalries, it is the small infield rivalries that kind of changes the entire course of action there. There was a moment now, Corbett FC may have that opening there, and they wanted to take their chance going forward with a shot from the right, Malsum Tulunga Pautu. But then Scott Morais, he's not one of the easiest of goalkeepers to beat.
That's right, and those quick feet again of Lal Rotswanga getting into the action with his first touch. His involvement would be critical for Corbett FC in this fixture. Here's Pautu again. Couldn't quite keep it. Let's just roll through for Lalbiak Zwala. Playing in the back line at the moment. Here's Pautu again. Aaron Costa goes back for Lal Rotswanga. Patient build-up. We've all seen how relentless they can be going forward, Corbett FC. It's all about those early nerves at the moment. The moment they settle down. There's a decent opening down there from Aaron Costa. Turning from defense to attack. Here comes Golazo, takes a strike. Strong hands coming in from Doji. Here's Aaron Costa linking up with Lal Rotswanga. Couldn't quite keep it in. Decent start to the game. Rohit, Golazo FC and Corbett FC having a go at each other.
Yeah, undoubtedly, and I think that is what the pulse of the final should be. Particularly, that is why in the very beginning when I talked about Jay Sutar, one of the primary reasons to get him in is his shooting range. And knowing Aaron DeCosta, he's a fox in the box. He's an absolute predator, and he knows exactly what is his role. And I think that clarity is what makes him one of the dangerous players. So when you have already fielded your best five, I think it goes without saying that you will be looking for that early goal, that early finish. Once you draw first blood, I think in a final like this, when both the teams are unbeaten, when both the team loves to score, I think it's more than important that you get that opening goal. You take that momentum in your sails. So yes, as you pointed out again, that it is a very positive start. It's not one of those cagey affairs that these two teams can resort to. I think that's exactly how a final should be.
That's right, and the best part about both the teams is they have been tested in the semi-finals. It hasn't been runaway victories for them like it has been in the group stages. Confidence would be quite high. Shot comes in, takes the deflection and goes out for a corner. Golazo FC have managed a couple of shots on target, making the goalkeeper work. Steven Saturkar there was right in the middle of it, but straight at the goalkeeper that time. Still with Golazo. Jayesh trying to link up with number 6. There's Golazo again. Here's a strike. Batu with a deflection. Couple of decent strikes coming in from that right side. Rohit. Golazo looking to up the antes a little bit.
I think that right side of Golazo, it's kind of a beehive altogether. It's a very bustling beehive. You would see them frequenting that right wing like never before. Well, that is an incredible setup. Could have been even more dangerous if Lalbiag Zuala was slightly early. But then again, I reckon that's again decent intent being shown. And yeah, talking about Golazo's right wing, I think the only player who eventually comes in from the left is Stephen Satarkar. But then given the fact that he's operating slightly deeper than his signature role up front, I think that will make the right wing the favourite place. And Corbett FC will have to be very, very careful. They have got quite a handful of shooters in their lineup. An opportunity. Jay Shutar trying to just open up from that left wing this time. But it was onto his right foot and the angle was kind of difficult. He had to go a step in eventually before he unloaded that. But then while being in the rush, he let that one fly and that was off target.
5 minutes in and the deadlock is yet to be broken here at the Swarnim Gujarat Sports University. This is the final of the AIFF Futsal Championship 2023-24 season. Corbett FC up against Golazo Football Club. Here's Golazo there, shielding beautifully was Pautu. Gets a grab of it, Dorji, Albiak Zwala. Here's Aaron DeCosta. Trying to find the run from Pautu again. Here's Aaron DeCosta. Squared it up nicely, intercepted. Golazo. Looked like a sedate start. But then Golazo did up the ante, have taken a few shots towards Dorji Bhutia. Here's Golazo again. Strike comes in, gets it blocked. It's all about defense for Corbett FC at the moment. They haven't had a clean shot towards the target. Takes the deflection and goes out. Shots are coming in thick and fast at the moment, Rohit, from Golazo Football Club. And they are looking dangerous going forward.
I think that is one of their niche. They are very well built and most importantly, those long ranges, another one. And I think those long ranges is what kind of enhances their strength. I mean, they are excellent going forward as a team as well, make no mistake. But yes, you give them an opening, you give them an iota of an opening, and they will be firing those long ranges at you. So you've got to be very, very careful. And once you have strength like that, once you have the likes of Jayesh, once you have the likes of someone like Sachin Patil, as also Stephen Satarkar, I think you do go forward with your best option. But then again, make no mistake that Corbett FC, they are one of those teams who are extremely resilient. They are used to taking pressure, they are acclimatized to kind of taking a backseat initially and then eventually let those balls fire in. So yes, it is going to be a very good contest, and I think so far, despite the fact that Golazo FC they have had a slight bit of advantage in this game going forward, I would still say that it's still very much even Stevens.
That's right, and we haven't seen enough of Laldo Swanga. And as we speak, stripped down on the court. Here's Golazo again. Shot comes in. Not on target. Would have definitely made it a little more interesting had he managed to make the goalkeeper work on that occasion. Decently taken strike. Another long ranger. Here's Corbett FC on the ball through Lalbi Exwala, who have been a heart and soul of Corbett FC's builder. Finds a beautiful ball there. Pautu. Goalkeeper called into action. Does the job eventually. Pautu there. Scruffed off the ground, perhaps, of the court. Save for Scott Richard. First signs there coming from Corbett FC. Rohit. Pautu finding an opportunity. Couldn't quite strike it clean.
When the game started, I think both of us talked about mini rivalries. Now, just to give you a bit of heads up altogether about what this game is. Now, knowing Scott Moraes from this tournament, he's an excellent shot stopper. Make no mistake, you take those shots and he will keep on parrying them day in, day out. He's also very good at outing as well. I mean, his sense of outing, his timing is absolutely impeccable. But what he has not yet been tested so far in this tournament is when the ball has been played on the ground and when the opposition has come forward in numbers. FC Thyristor kind of did that, and he was in a bit of trouble every single time they came together in numbers, let's say 2 to 3 players attacking. And that is when Scott Moraes kind of felt that he was out of depth, and we were talking about that. That is the opening goal of the final. Against the turn of the tide, it is Corbett FC who's managed to break the deadlock early on. And
Goal scored for Corbett FC by jersey
getting
number 3,
one past the extended reach
Lalbi
of Scott Moraes.
Now stretched right foot from Lalbi Exwala. Shot comes in, cross comes in perhaps from Pratik Swami, and beats Scott Richard to find the back of the net. An early strike for Corbett FC, completely against the run of play. Golazo was having a few shots on target. But yes, in a big final, that's a big goal early on in the game, Rohit. And Corbett FC have found a star in Lalbi Exwala, who have been relentless right throughout, been making those runs forward. But then on the day has managed to open the scoring for Corbett.
I think that's a sign of a true great, I mean, it has been said time and time again, once you start throwing the players at the deep end, that kind of molds them. Here's another long ranger coming in, and this time trying to get into action there. Stephen Satarkar, knowing the fact that they will also need the equalizer at the earliest, because the more time, the more seconds, the more minutes they allow Corbett FC to go forward with the lead, it's only going to be trouble. Another opportunity and a bit of miss altogether. But then thanks to Scott Moraes, we talk about his shot-stopping abilities, and he stands tall under the sticks there.
That's right, and Corbett FC turned that defense into attack in a matter of seconds. Pratik Swami, with his introduction, they have looked absolutely lethal. Another shot coming in from Golazo. Gets it blocked. Shifted towards the right. Back with Golazo again. Another long ranger. Goes wide of Dorji Bhutia again. Relying heavily on those shots from the distance, Rohit. That's one of the points that you have been mentioning. They have taken their shots from outside from a long range, from the distance, and have scored quite a bit in the group stages as well as in the knockouts.
1 point for sure. And I think another player that they will be missing, given the fact that the shots haven't really worked out in their favor. Now, obviously, they'll be hoping for someone who can actually go ahead and put one in the back of the net with ground play, something that Corbett FC has done so well. And I think one particular player who could have got the job done was Clinton, and Clinton is not a part of the playing squad for Golazo Football Club today. He scored a screaming goal in the semi-final, and he's known for that, the skill. I think futsal, it isn't all about those long ranges, all about those thumping shots coming in. At times, you also have to be skillful enough. Well, that's another lovely bit of snatch there. Danger brewing on the horizon. Lalruat Sangha trying to create an opening, but excellent defending there. Good snatch by Golazo FC as they get their wheels back in motion.
A bit of assurance in the way they are moving the ball forward, Corbett FC. They soaked in the pressure that was coming in from Golazo. Now, Ronaldo Swanga is getting on the ball quite frequently. Have managed to hold on to the position and have looked decent in transitions in the last couple of minutes. Prateek Swami has been instrumental since he has come on the court. Here's Lal Bigswala again. Good interception. Knocks it out for a kick in. Will we see a response coming in from Golazo? There will be a response, of course, at a certain stage. Will that be instant? There's Golazo again. Nicked away by Pautu. That has been their preferred route so far, the right side. There's Pautu again on the ball. Fine Swami! Couldn't quite get to the end of it. Was in with a decent opportunity there. Well-timed run perhaps, or a ball played straight down the line towards him. Could have definitely made things a little more interesting from Corbett FC's standpoint. They are looking dangerous going forward now, Rohit. Scott FC have flipped the switch.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say that it's kind of... Oh, that's a lovely chance! And an equalizer! Stephen Satarkar gets the equalizer back in place. One moment of madness, one moment of lapse. And the celebration of Rashford being invoked. It's all fair and square here at the Swarnim Gujarat Sports University.
Brilliantly done. Stephen Satarkar getting his 13th of the tournament towards the left of the skipper standing in between the stakes, Dorji Bhutia. And that celebration to round it off. It's all square at the Swarnim Gujarat Sports University. Corbett FC will have to redo it. Here's Shubham Yadav. Corbett through Pautu. Back with number 18. Shubham Yadav. Lalruat Swanga. Trying to go with the out of his left foot. Back with Golazo. Those nerves would have settled down quite a bit for Golazo as well. They have been knocking on the door on a consistent basis in the first 10 minutes or so. And then when it mattered, another delivery play towards the center. There was a man waiting in the middle there in Ishan. Doji reads that one beautifully and pouches it safely in the end.
I think one particular problem that Golazo were having a few moments ago is that they were unable to match Corbett FC in terms of creativity. So what they did was they brought Stephen Satarkar in a much more central role instead of him going from the side, another long ranger being thumped against the defense. So the moment Stephen slotted in that central role, that allowed them to go forward with an opportunity, that allowed them to eventually try and test the goalkeeper, not with a long ranger, but with a quick shot, with a crisp shot, and a much more precise one. And as soon as that was taken, Dorji Bhutia didn't really have too many options out there. He was slightly late in that dive and eventually conceded that equalizer. And I think this is very important, these small strategic fine-tunings. I think that is what eventually defines the game. It may be very minute, but eventually it is drops that constitute an ocean.
One thing for sure, as we heard from both the skippers before the kickoff, they have read each other's game quite well leading up to the final. They are wary of the competition presented to them. And of course, all those strategies, those tactics coming into play in that goal from Golazo, like you rightly pointed, was given more of a central role after the first 8-9 minutes or so, and then making it count, making Anil Doji work and, beg your pardon, Doji Bhutia work, and that was quite a decent effort that was converted into an opportunity and eventually into a goal. So 15 minutes into the first half, we're remaining with 5 minutes, and it's all square here at the Swarnim Gujarat Sports University. Corbett FC 1 and Golazo Football Club 1. So timeout has been called for. Rohit, who would you think would be happy at this stage of the game?
Yeah, I think it has to be Golazo Football Club because, once you are trailing in a big game like this and then you're able to score that equalizer, I think the momentum is in your sails. So at that point in time, obviously, you would like to get some time. Now, that was once again a glimpse at the 2 goals. Sensational opening goal, the stretch and that cross there from Pratik Swami. I think that was a picture-perfect cross. And Lalbiag Zwala, he did a phenomenal job of it. And then look at this one. Dribbles past not one but 2 defenders and then lets one fly. Once again, not too much power. It was sheer placement and timing. And I think Stephen Satarkar, who has already scored so many goals in the tournament, I think he deserved one. And yes, I won't say that who's happy, but I would say the momentum right now is with Golazo FC because they are the one who scored the latest goal in this game. But once again, things can change, tides can change. It's a big final. We've seen time and time again, both the teams, they have turned the tide around in their favor, came back emphatically, and eventually their authority in the boldest possible liveries. So I think with 4 minutes remaining in the first half and with the entire second half to go, I think we are still miles, rather light years away from what is going to be a finish in this game.
Well, that's right. That's very well put it. The best thing that could have happened is both the teams were tested in their semi-final outings. Of course, against FC Tharista Golazo and then against Emblem FC for Corbett football. Here's Golazo. Patient build up again. Number 13 shifts it towards the left there. Lal Sankama. Shot comes in, takes the deflection. Here's Corbett FC again from the left. It was a decent opportunity. It's Golazo. Still Golazo through number 14. Leaves it, set up. Another decent chance. Has been an end-to-end stuff from both these sides. Here's Lal Raswanga on the ball. Aaron De Costa. Back with Lal Raswanga. Goes back to Lalbiag Zwala. End-to-end stuff there, Rohit. Both these teams trying to get that lead in the first half, going into the break.
I'm kind of surprised, truth be told, because someone like Aaron De Costa, he's a lot more lethal when he usually comes in from the left, but today he's operating from the right. Well, he does shuffle well. He does shuffles well, actually, but somehow or the other, he's kind of slotted to the right today, and that is kind of dampening the creativity, the shooting flair that he brings to the game. Well, it's understandable that it's just to keep the creativity of Corbett FC intact. But then when you are strong at something, when you are good at something, I think you should try and test that as well. The shot comes in from the right, but eventually takes a deflection. Also, I'm very intrigued by the prospect to see that when does Corbett FC eventually get Jenish Rana in the mix? Because Jenish Rana is a very tall player, a very well-built and kind of a predator in the box as well. And he's a very sturdy defender if you need him as well. So maybe that can also be a position, because with the kind of shots that we have seen from Golazo and with Dorji Bhutia being invoked into action, being summoned into action quite a few times, I think the introduction of Jenish Rana is also going to be crucial to the mix if Corbett FC will have to pull up something different out of their hat.
Well, that's right. And as we speak, Andy Costa has taken more of a central role. Albixwala towards the right now. Here's Albixwala back with Aaron Costa. Albixwala was waiting for the ball to arrive from Aaron. Janish Rana has looked quite decent, performing his defensive duties right throughout the competition. Has been seen more often than not. He has been brought on in the second half. We'll have to wait and see how it pans out for them today and when Mohammad Rizwan is going to get him on court. Still got a couple of minutes left in the first half, and it's all square at the moment. Golazo Football Club getting the latest goal through Stephen Satrukar.
This is an important couple of minutes remaining so far in this game, because truth be told, I think if any of the teams get a goal right now, it can be a serious challenge for their counterparts, whoever gets it. And I think the next goal is very important because the kind of box-to-box action, the kind of end-to-end action that we have seen, I think this is a game of the finest of margins. You got to be very, very careful. You cannot let your guard down even for a second. You know, like they say in boxing, that you got to protect yourself at all costs. I think more than scoring, more than trying to get that next goal, I think it's very important that you keep your defensive shape intact and you go ahead fighting till the very end, because goals will come in if you're able to focus yourself, if you're able to keep the belly of the beast protected at all costs, then the head will fire. Oh, that's another lovely chance, but what a sensational save there. Doji Bhutia coming to the deliverance of his team.
That's right, a brilliant save from the skipper. One thing that I'm a little disappointed with at the moment is Lalra Swanga is not on the ball consistently. They haven't had a decent number of strikes towards the target. As you see the comparison, 7 with 6 landing on target, 14 shots taken by Golazo with 7 landing on target for them. They've made Doji Bhutia work consistently right throughout the first half. And on the other hand, the likes of Aaron De Costa, Lalra Swanga, they haven't enjoyed enough of the ball going forward. There have been opportunities here and then, not consistently. Here's Corbett FC again. Bautu, as we head into the final minute of the first half. There's Pratik Swami, takes a strike and forces a brilliant save of Scott Richard. The angle was tough. He decided to go through with a shot. Had no option waiting in the center there. Pratik Swami gets away from the defense. And Scott Richard absolutely threw himself there, Rohit.
Yeah, I think it's a battle of the best. Scott Richard Moraes, I think he's also one of the finest goalkeepers of the tournament. He's one of the finest players in the futsal circuit of India. And make no mistake, Pratik Swami can be an absolute nightmare. Looks like dangers brewing on the horizon there. Stephen Satarkar, every single time he'll sense an opportunity, he'll come all guns, all blasters, all bazookas blasting at you. And you've got to be very, very careful. That last shot, however, it kind of wasn't exactly Stephen as Stephen would have planned, but looks like it took a slight deflection. Here's another opportunity though. Jay Sutar back to Stephen again. Stephen trying to get some help, trying to create that window, that small window for opportunity. Now to Jayesh once again. Lalsan Kima to Jayesh. Jayesh to Stephen. Stephen from the left. Back to Jayesh again. Jayesh goes forward with the shot, but very well blocked there by Lalruat Sanga. And this is excellent defending as well. Golazo FC not willing to go down without a fight.
And that's the end of the first half. An electrifying half to begin the finals with. Corbett FC 1, Golazo Football Club 1. Lal Biagzwala break in the deadlock at 9th minute mark and was cancelled out by Steven Saturkar, who managed to get his 13th goal of the competition. They'll have to come back and have a go at each other one more time in the final 20 minutes. The stakes are absolutely high here at the Swarnim Gujarat Sports University. This is the final of the AIFF Futsal Club Championship. And in case if you have joined the action late or joining for the very first time here, this is how it panned out.
Well, the game started off on a pretty feisty note, both the teams. It was Golazo eventually who went forward with the shots, and this is something that they are very good at. So they really wanted to test their luck from distance, and they were not going to shy away, particularly when they have got such sharp shooters in their lineup. Despite the absence of Clinton, I think the kind of players they already have in their lineup, it just goes without saying that, when you have someone who are as good as that, and then eventually that opening goal came in, no chance for Scott Moraes. It happened in a flash. Excellent pass there from the left through the gates of Lalsan Kima, and then Lal Biakzuala, he was bang on point.
That's right, and they kept knocking on the door on consistently. Golazo FC, chance there for Pratik, who couldn't quite get to the end of it. And then this one. Dribbles past first, and then the other. Toe pokes it almost towards the left of the goalkeeper. And that celebration. Secondly, on the second spot. Right now on the second spot in the goal scorers chart. Steven Saturkar. Link up there between Pautu and Lal Biakzuala. This was close. Mightily close there, Corbett FC. They've had their chances, and then this flick. Dorji Bhutia there, diving full length. And just before the end of the first half, here's how the halftime stats look like. Almost even Stevens in terms of the ball possession. 8 shots for Corbett FC with 7 landing on target. 19 for Golazo with 10 on target. 6 saves the goalkeepers had to make on either side of the court. 3 corners to Golazo, 2 to Corbett FC. No fouls in the game so far. Rohit, your take on how it panned out in the first half?
It was definitely electric. I would just like to say that. And with that, we'll also be diving into the breather. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll return shortly with the second half of this game. Well, as the players make their way back to the ground here, and we are in for a second half. Quite an electric one. The first half was not short of any drama whatsoever. It felt like we are in for some powerful theatre, some powerful theatre, and these people could have been basketball. They were right at the top of their game, right at the pinnacle altogether, and they kept on firing on all cylinders. Now, however, with the customary shuffle at the moment, attacking from the left to the right in their signature blues is Corbett FC, apologies, is Golazo Football Club. Attacking on the frame from the right to the left in their white and pink is Corbett FC. And as Golazo Football Club looks around for an opening early in the game, straight away goes for a shot, but drags it wide. And this was such Patil this time, entering in the act at the earliest. Well, Junaid, given the fact that we've already seen a pretty eventful first half, how do you think the second half is going to pan out?
Well, let me tell you something. It's going to be a frantic second half, to say the least, because both the teams right on top of the game at the moment, because both the teams have enjoyed a brilliant run of form leading up to the finals. And on the day in the first half, we've already seen the glimpses of it. Corbett FC taking an early goal and then was cancelled out perhaps by Golazo Football Club. Will we have the same intensity? Of course we will, because they are the set of players in their ranks who can turn the things around at any given point of time. Here's Lara Swanga operating from the back. Yet to see the introduction of Jenish Rana. Could be a strategy from Mohammad Rizwan that he might be setting up. Here's Aaron DeCosta for the setup there. The shot came in. Probably would have anticipated Lal Swanga to find more of a central place. There, beg your pardon, was Pautu was making that move. Here's Golazo. Waiting from the left now.
Apologies for that, Junaid. And yeah, I think we can see now at the moment Aaron Costa, he's coming into a much more central role. Now that's another strategic maneuver which has been made there by Mohammad Rizwan. Now that's one particular move that can go forward and inject the salvo that Corbett FC is looking forward to. Early breakthrough attempted, but then again the shot was slightly haywire there. Golazo FC, make no mistake, they do not waste a second altogether. The very moment that they are invited into action, the moment they kind of spot even an inch of space, they will be pounding, they will be pouncing upon that.
That's right, and you can't give sniff to these players in blue and black, because like you pointed out, they pounce on any opportunity presented to them. And make no mistake about their opponents today, Corbett FC, who have been the leading goal scorers in the championship. There's Naldo Swanga there, who hasn't enjoyed more of the ball in the first half. Haven't seen the best of him as yet. They'll have to try and get him consistently on the ball. And DeCosta is more of a central role this time. Pass came in from Pautu. Couldn't quite get to the end of it. Aaron DeCosta. Here comes Golazo again. Finds a good pass to pick out number 6. Back with number 13 in Sachin Patil. Here's Steven Satrakarkar.
Now trying to make their way at the moment is Corbett FC. Somehow it feels like Corbett FC, they have been crammed into their own half. They're kind of fighting an incessant wave of attacks altogether from Golazo FC. Now, it's understandable. Corbett FC, they are kind of programmed to weather the storm. Yeah, that will be the free kick. or rather foul there, and it was Stephen Sutherland with a very gentle push. So yeah, I mean, it's understandable that Corbett FC, they are a very resilient side. They cope with the pressure, they weather the storm, which is actually a very good side. It goes without saying. But then again, at times you will also have to retaliate. If you keep on weathering one attack after the other, I mean, it's understandable that you're doing well to keep your opposition away. But what also happens is you kind of give that momentum to your opposition. You kind of give that leeway that they are looking forward to. And that changes the game. That changes the style that your opposition starts approaching you. They take a lot more shots. They try and figure out even the craziest of angles to try and finish. Another long ranger takes a deflection along the way. And I think this is exactly what Corbett will have to stop right now. They are not, at the moment, their midfield somehow seems void. And they will need someone who can actually arrive in the midfield, play that pivot, play that fulcrum, provide the stability, and eventually go forward knocking on the doors.
That's right, and we'll have to wait and see if Jenish Rana comes into action and be that fulcrum they are looking for. Because at the moment, it's all about Golazo. Here they come again. This time straight at Georgi Bhutia. On the attack is Aaron De Costa, nicked away by Golazo. That has been their problem in this fixture. Corbett FC, they haven't seen more of the ball. Here's Lal Raswanga. Goes all the way back again to Lal Biagzwala. Lal Raswanga again on the ball. Back with Lal Biag. Taking their time for the build-up. Here's Pautu. Just makes his run forward, gets the cross in. Puts too much of weight behind that one. They can weather the storm on a few occasions, but not consistently, like you pointed out, Rohit, because at the moment, Golazo are taking those shots at will every time they move that ball further forward.
I think it's because of the space that they have. Look at the kind of space. I mean, at the moment, it's 1-1. So both the teams, they have their openings, they have their chances. Oh, that could have been trouble if that crosser would have been a pinpoint. This can be an opportunity at the other end, though. That's decent. Come back strong enough. Because, like you said, Jenny, they cannot sit back. They cannot sit back and defend. They will need to have that positive mindset. And I think that is exactly what will allow them to hit back at Golazo.
That's right, and they haven't created enough opportunities going forward. Corbett FC, at least in the first half, just 7 shots with 6 on target. And on the flip side, they were double the number of shots taken by Golazo. So decent first touch, perhaps giving it away. There's Golazo again on the ball. The problem with Corbett FC is they haven't kept the ball to them or have done anything purposeful with it. And they find it in the final third. Here's Golazo again on the attack. Shot comes in again from the distance. Gets it blocked. Nicked away by Golazo. Taken away now by Lal Raswanga. De Costa couldn't quite keep it. Lal Raswanga wins it back. It was all the way back to Lal Biagzwala. There's De Costa again. Hustling for the ball. Has got presence of Pautu in the middle. Nothing meaningful coming out from that attack as well.
After a long time, out of nowhere, a shot coming in. Took a deflection along the way, but Scott Moraes, once again, right at the top of his game, the way he throws his body, I think his knee-jerk reflexes that he has, it's extremely razor-sharp, so kind of attunes himself to whenever and whatever the needs of his team are. I think that's the true sign for great goalkeeper. Another long ranger, and that could have been trouble there. Jay Sutar waiting like a fox in the box, or rather, a kind of a predator in the arc there. And Golazo now, they are turning into a much more menacing side altogether. Another shot comes in, but this time the angle wasn't exactly favorable enough. And it goes straight to the goalkeeper.
Here's Lal Swanga. Patient build up. Finds Pautu, gets to the end of it, gets the cross in. Aaron Costa reaches it. Lal Swanga takes the strike. He claims it's a deflection there. Deflection it is, and that goes out for a corner. A thunderous left foot. Full length dive there from Scott Richard. They have to do that time and time again, Corbett FC. It's not going to be one of those games like in the group stages where there'll be plenty of goals in it. It's a lovely link up there. Lal Ratswanga getting to the end of it. Costa played it into his stride. Goes all the way back to Pautu. Lal Biagzwala to number 12, Lal Ratswanga. Another patient build up for Corbett FC. Aaron Costa linking up. Takes the woodwork. Decent effort there from Corbett FC. Was claiming perhaps for a deflection. Shot comes in. Hits the woodwork and goes further wide. They're knocking on the door now, Rohit, because that was a decent chance created by Corbett FC.
Yeah, I think Golazo at the moment, it's understandable that they have been dominating, but they will have to try and control their defense as well. They will have to regulate those gaps in the defense. It's understandable that they are committing more numbers to the cause, to the attacking cause, which is actually a phenomenal sight to behold. But then make no mistake, Corbett FC, they are also unbeaten in the tournament and they have got more goals than their counterpart. And truth be told, they are creatively a bit more expressive than Golazo FC is. They do not really bank upon those long ranges where it looks like there is a push. And Shabazz, he's gone down to the ground. Aaron Costa quickly just tending to his counterpart there. And I think these are very good signs. It's a very good sign of sportsmanship. It just tells you that at the end of the day, no matter the rivalry, no matter the kind of exchange that you have on the field, at the end of the day, at the end of the game, it's all about being an extended family altogether.
Well, that's right. And at the moment, like you pointed out, Golazo, or rather, it's not a healthy position, would I call it, but they are definitely looking like a team to score the next, and whoever scores the next will definitely solidify their position going into the last 10 odd minutes left in the second half. Still wait for the introduction of the likes of Janish Rana, Shivam Yadav. Not quite sure what could be the strategy as Pratik Swami is out there on the court. Wanted to get towards Pautu on that occasion, ended up playing straight towards Scott Richard. Golazo again on the ball, who have enjoyed a lot of possession. Defending in numbers in the back there, Lal Bigswala. Toji quick with the restart. Here's Pratik Swami on the ball from the left, finds a pass. De Costa couldn't quite get to the end of it. Is operating more from the right now. Aaron De Costa looked like a decent threat coming in from Corbett FC there. Rohit again not materializing in their favor.
Yeah, despite the final outcome not materializing in their favor, I think they would take this as a very good sign. I think after being shoehorned in this entire first half, kind of forced to be in their own half, now they are finally starting to emote themselves. They are starting to show that creativity that they bring to the game, and look at how they are combining, how they are coordinating. That chemistry somehow, it can be the game changer altogether. And yes, this can be another chance. Pratik Swami onto the left there. Pratik looking for a few more options, and eventually decides to send it all the way back to Lal Biagzwala. Lal Biagzwala towards the far right, keeping it under control, not doing anything brash. And that's another fine touch. This is some excellent futsal altogether. The kind of touch, the kind of weight, the kind of featherweight on those touches, long ranger. But that was shot for Maz, and it goes out of play.
Another interesting thing is both these teams, they haven't been tested enough right throughout the competition, and right in the finals here. It's going to turn out to be a very nervy affair in the end. Shot comes in from Shabazz, gets it blocked. Another follow-up! And just goes wide. Might have hit the woodwork on the way. Decent effort there. Stephen. Yes, that takes the woodwork on the way and it goes out. They have managed to hit the pole on both sides of the court at the moment in the last couple of minutes. Shabazz goes back. Another long ranger! Makes the goalkeeper work. Those shots keep coming in every now and then, Rohit. Another decent strike from Golazo from the distance.
Make no mistake. Make absolutely no mistake. These are two teams. You said a few moments ago that they. Oh, another long ranger there, and once again dragging Doji Bhutia to his utmost, and it goes out of play. And yes, for anyone who's just joined the stream, for anyone who's watching the final, only the final, just let me give you all a heads up. I think, as Junaid pointed out before, that these two teams, they are very closely knit. This can be trouble. That's an excellent dodge opportunity. Takes a long ranger, but I reckon Stephen, he kind of overdid that one. The very first player he dribbled past, I think that was the very second he should have pulled the trigger. Let's take a look. This is where he should have gone for the shot. He waited a bit too long. He wanted to make sure, and he kind of went into a similar trajectory altogether with Shubham Gaikwad, and eventually ended up squandering that opportunity. But what a game this is turning out into! Oh, wow. Just through the gates altogether. And yes, for everyone who's just joined us here, to give you all a quick warning, keep your hypertension medicines, or if you have anything for the hearts, close enough, because this game is very topsy-turvy. It's oscillating from one end to the other, and you may need them. And for all of us, this is turning out into an absolute swashbuckling grand finale, like we expected it to.
It's going to be frantic 8 minutes coming our way, the way this is panning out. Two top teams in the competition, playing the finals. Stakes are absolutely high. They're all having a go at each other. Here's a Pratik Swami! Decent ball played in. Chances created on either side. It's all about who makes the less number of mistakes, who takes the next possible chance that comes their way. Here's Lal Raswanga, Lal Biagzwala with the follow-up. More of a hope than conviction behind that shot. His introduction there. Jayesh Suter, looks like it's going to come on. Here's Lal Sankima. Lalsan still from a distance again. They've relied heavily on those long ranges. Lal Sankima shifts it towards the left. 1v1 in that corner with Lal Biagzwala. Goes back. Lal Sankima again with the ball. Shot comes in, takes the deflection. It's again, Rohit, like you pointed out before, they are sitting back, Corbett FC, and taking those shots coming their way. And perhaps, I don't know for how long they can defend that way, because they'll have to come out of their blocks and attack, get that next goal in, and probably this shot comes in again and was going wide. Would have been difficult from there on. Got a strong hand to it. Dorji, like the point that I was mentioning, they are sitting back and absorbing that pressure coming their way. It's not going to be too long before Golazo finds the back of the net for the second time if they keep doing that consistently.
I think they'll have to plug the gaps in the midfield. Unless they are plugging that gap, it's just going to get worse for them. I think the shots will start deluging. It's going to come in spades and they will have nothing to do about it. I mean, yes, they can use this as an advantage as well, but for that to happen, they will need someone who can eventually lead that attacking gung-ho. Because if you take a look how Corbett FC, or rather Golazo FC, they are kind of committing numbers to the cause, which means their own defense, it's kind of opening up, so there are spaces. But in order to capitalize upon that one, I think that we haven't really seen too many positive notes altogether. We haven't seen too many positive moves forward. We haven't seen positive passes being knitted. That was a lovely chance, to be honest, but then somehow or the other, it was well kept away, kept at bay altogether by Golazo FC. And I think Golazo, they are not just solid up front, but that defense of theirs, that goalkeeper, Scott Morais, their captain, I think at times he turns himself into an unbreachable bulwark under the woodwork altogether. Another shot, an attempt to take a shot, and it takes a deflection and goes out of play.
Looks like Aaron DeCosta finds himself back on the court as a bit of a breather. Timeout has been called for. It's going to be a quick word thrown in at both the set of players. Mohammad Rizwan there with his team, trying to resurface the strategies once again going into the final 5 minutes, as well as the other coach, Joshua, with his boys. Golazo have looked relentless going forward. They'll have to find a way to score that second one. They've definitely looked like a team to do. They have hit the woodwork in a couple of times and have made the goalkeeper Dorji Bhutia work for those stoppages. He holds absolutely key. And those are the numbers, and numbers speak for themselves. 30 shots with 14 landing on target. Most, in fact, more than the double of what Corbett FC have managed so far.
And those numbers, they kind of speak a lot. When you take 30 shots, which means that you have actually dominated, dictated the game. 14 of them on target. Yeah, you may not have found the back of the net, but you have dictated. But yes, we all know at the end of the day that should be a foul. Yes, that was Aaron DeCosta. Couldn't really time himself. And Lalsan Kima, I think he's extremely fast. And the way he just switches from one end to the other, the way he controls the ball, the finish that he comes into the game with, I think it's kind of difficult. So he took one for the team on that occasion. But nonetheless, final 5 minutes remaining, Junaid. And we are still to see a goal in the second half. Where do you think is it coming from?
Well, that's a very, very tough question to answer at this point of time, but because we all have seen the attacking prowess of Corbett FC right throughout the competition. On the day, it more or less looks like Golazo have looked a better team, especially like you pointed out, the numbers speak for themselves. And with 13 shots, with 50% of them landing on target, they have looked absolutely relentless going forward. Well, you never know. Definitely not discounting the abilities of the boys in red and white. Here's Lal Bigzwala operating from the left. Pautu shifts it towards Lal Raswanga. Aaron DeCosta again has gone out to the position on the right. It's played to the central. There's a run coming in from Pautu there. Here's Lal Raswanga on the ball. Has to go back. Forced to go back, should I say. Here's Aaron. Lal Bigzwala got the opening goal in this game. Pautu from the distance. Dives full length to his right and parries it away. Scott, Richard. Decent effort there from Pautu coming in, Rohit.
I think that is actually brilliant to witness. And they've got to take a few chances as well. I mean, they just cannot rely entirely on their defense. It's understandable that, yes, you would like to bolster your defensive reinforcements, but then at the end of the day, if you're not scoring, well, that entire area, it goes blank. So you will need to take your chances. You will have to go forward, show a bit of audacity as well. Well, this time Jay Sutar throwing his body along the line. Could have been trouble. That would have been sneaky altogether there from Corbett FC. And the danger still not over though. Another shot, and that's the goal! Against the turn of the play, if we may say. Corbett FC has managed to break the deadlock, stunning everyone, stunning the spectators. And once again, it is Galbert Zuwala firing Corbett FC to a very slender lead with 3 minutes to go.
Well, what a strike that is. Aaron DeCosta. Hands went in the air.
Corbett FC by jersey number
And the goal
10,
stands.
PC Lalruat Sanga.
Lalra Swanga has been given the goal. But yes, against the run of play one more time. For all those shots coming in from Golazo FC, they find themselves trailing in this all-important final with 3 minutes to play. They'll have to come back one more time into the competition. And they managed to find the back of the net. You talk about response, and there's one for all of us to see. Number 17. Finding the ball in the right space.
Goal scored
Finding
for
himself
Golazo
in the
Football
position in front
Club
of
by jersey number
Georgie
17,
Bhutia.
Jayesh Sutar.
What a comeback this is. Jayesh there. An outstretched right leg towards the left of the goalkeeper. What a comeback that has been, Rohit.
I mean, again, we'll just get back to that. Oh, this can be trouble. Oh, good save there. Very good save from Dorji Bhutia. But yeah, let's just point out, for a moment, Scott Moraes, he was off. And he wanted to take a breather. He wanted to bring in Jayesh Sutar so that they can have an extra man out on the outfield. So Jayesh, eventually deployed as the goalkeeper, comes down and positions himself at the far right, eventually jeopardizing their goal. We were talking about taking chances, and look at how comfortably Golazo FC restores the parity within just 11 seconds. It's all about how you're going to take your opportunities. It's all about how you are going to make them count. Danger looms large. And Golazo FC keeps on threatening Corbett FC time and time again. And to be honest, a very timely timeout, if we may say. But this is turning out into an absolutely thrilling, nail-biting finish.
I've used the word frantic a couple of times. But yes, and frantic it is, because this is turning out to be an electrifying stuff. Last 2 minutes, and we don't know where this game is going to go. It looked like Corbett FC have managed to find themselves a bit of a breather for the final 3 minutes. They have sorted out their defensive duties, but wasn't the case to be. In a span of 11 seconds, ended up conceding to the brilliance of Jayesh Sutar. Another quick word or two from the coaches. Mohammad Rizwan back on the court, and those 2 minutes is going to be an intense stuff from both these sides. Golazo Football Club have dominated the game right from the get-go, conceded early but made a strong comeback and took quite a few chances, quite a few shots on the target, and Corbett FC made a strong comeback in the second half, got a goal and then ended up conceding. Still got 2 minutes. Here's Golazo through Shabazz from the right, coming in from the distance again. Golazo couldn't quite keep it towards the target.
It's looking obvious at the moment right now in Corbett FC, and I think whatsoever elations they would have actually hoped for, and whatsoever breathing space, like you pointed out, when you have that insurance goal, that breathing space that you were looking forward to, and I think that has been snatched away, and snatched away emphatically enough. Here's a chance, however, but again, just trying to sneak one. Now realizing the fact that Scott, he's extremely good. His reflexes against those shots, again, those pile driver of shots altogether, they are very, very good enough, very sharp enough. So yes, they are trying to sneak chances into the back of the net, which I would say is a welcome change, because you've got to do something different. You just cannot rely on one strategy You've got to come in with alternatives, because when one door shuts, you've got to pry another one open. Particularly, it's a big game. And I think both the teams, they have been pushed along to the very fringes, and no wonder this is turning out into an absolute cliffhanger. Well, the truth be told, Golazo FC may look dominating enough, but Corbett FC, they are a very opportunistic team. So you give them an iota of space, you allow them that sniff, and they may eventually king on the doors looking for that third goal as well.
Well, that's right. And talking about the strategies, I'm still surprised there wasn't introduction of Jenish Rana at any stage in the game. They haven't made those substitutes. Corbett FC, just Pratik Swami, who has come on the court on a couple of occasions. Not quite sure if that's a tactical move to have the starting five play out most of the minutes. Here's Corbett, looking patient. DeCosta, Swanga gets it nicked off, does well to win it back. Swanga on the ball. The leading scorer in the championship, can he make it count? Gives it away. There's an attack coming in the opposite direction through Shabazz. Taken away by Lalbi Agzwala. Making that run, couldn't quite keep it in. Stephen gets it out. Kima. Is that the end of the second half, should I say? Or, well, that's the end of the second half, I believe. And Steven Stevens at the moment. Rohit, how do you see this panning out?
Yeah, I would say the final has actually lived up to its heightened expectations. I think both the teams, the way they have worked it out, the way they have showcased their talent, their flair. And if you take a look at Golazo, they have really blasted those pile drivers. And if you take a look at Corbett FC, they have been absolute predators. Every single chance that they have got, they have come knocking on the doors and eventually tried to sneak a few into the. And I think this is very good, like both the teams and deploying their strategy. It's not like that they have entirely had a paradigm shift in the overall strategy. I would say this is a very well played 40 minutes of futsal. Corbett FC 2, Golazo Football Club 2. Now, before we give you further information on how we are going to see these two teams being separated, a quick look at the highlights. The opening goal came from Corbett FC before Stephen Satarkar eventually fired one into the back of the net, and then a goal against the turn of the play. It definitely took one off the chest of Lalwat Sanga, and just seconds altogether, it was what, 11 seconds later, Jay Sutar poked one into the back of the net. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll quick back in the field of play once again to determine that what should be in place in order to separate these two sides. Well, it looks like the confirmation has arrived, and it's going to be 5 minutes of extra time for both the teams. And Junaid, let's face it, the kind of gameplay that we have seen so far, I would say 5 minutes is more than enough to bring the entire roof down at the Gujarat Sports University. Won't you agree?
I'm in 100% agreement with that, because the kind of game we have seen is going to be electrifying, like we have mentioned time and time again, because both the teams very capable, very potent. It's going to be an enthralling 5 minutes. In the first set of added on time, it's Aaron DeCosta, Mohammad Rizwan, who's worked tirelessly with this team. And what a journey they've had. In fact, both of them unbeaten right throughout the competition. So 2 sets of 5 minutes each, added on time to decide the winner of this season's Futsal Championship. Plays a deflection there, goes out for a kick into Corbett FC. Here's Pautu. Lalro Swanga. Back with Pautu. Leaves it for Lalbek Zwala. Lalro Swanga looked like he got to the end of it. Couldn't quite bring it down just in the nick of time. Lalbek. Back with Corbett FC again. They look patient going forward now. It's Lalbek Zwala. Still no introduction of Pratik Swami or Janish Rana. Sticking to the starting five. Mohammad Rizwan. Taking their sweet little time at the moment. Corbett plays it down the line to find the run of Pautu. There was always going to be difficult for him to chase that one down.
Just to give you all a heads up, now again a quick change there, which means Scott is not under the sticks, and Jesh quickly coming on as the goalkeeper. I mean, as a designated goalkeeper, but then he's up front. He's trying to help his team. So they want to they want to take that numerical superiority going forward. And look how Jesh is sneaking his way towards that mouth of the goal. This is very good to watch. I think overall as a strategy, this is phenomenal, but this is also kind of taking a bit more risk than you would expect, particularly when the scoreline is all even and Steven. And another chance, and that was a sensational strike. Rattles the woodwork, and look how quickly Jesh drops back. And I think this is one strategy that Golazo, they want to try and take. They want to try and test their luck with that one. I don't know how much of efficacy will that strategy eventually have, but so far, so good.
That's right, and talking about the efficacy, that in fact, that was brought in the game against Emblem. There's a shot comes in, goes wide there, Lalra Swanga. Emblem Sports Club deployed the same strategy against Corbett FC in the semi-finals, and they came a touching distance from equalizing. That could work, having an extra man in the attacking front. You never know, there's Jesh again.
Once again, sorry about that, Junaid. I'm absolutely loving this. Every single time they go on attack, they're having Jesh in place. They go on defense, and right at the line is waiting Scott. So the moment they drop back in defense, Scott is turning into the goalkeeper as a rolling sub. And then the moment they go forward in the attack, this can be trouble. However, Jayesh may be caught off guard, but then he does extremely well to eventually clear the danger lines. This is turning out into a strategic battle of two juggernauts altogether, and they really do not want to take a step back. And I would say, like, again, another quick point that I would like to make, Junaid, is we haven't really seen too many changes at the moment from Corbett FC. They're trying to stick to the starting five. And I think one possible reason can be because the kind of team that Golazo has been, if you bring in a change, is that player who's coming in equipped with the positional awareness, with the kind of role that he has to play. I think Mohammad Rizwan doesn't really want to take too many risks, particularly in the extra time. I would say that it works for him. Whether it works for Corbett FC in the long run or not, only time shall reveal that.
That's right, and 90 seconds to go in the first of the added-on halves. It's going to be two halves of 5 minutes each. So long ball played, and got to the end of it eventually. Here's Lalra Swanga for Corbett. Lalbek Zwala loops one. Was trying to find Aaron De Costa, who was placed centrally. Looks like a foul given there, and the referee has pulled back the play. It's going to be a restart in favor of Corbett. There's a clear foul there. Now stretched right arm there from Sachin.
I think that was unnecessary. I mean, when your team's doing so well, I don't think that was threatening as well. So there's no point to just stretch your hands out like that, which is very much intentional. So yeah, it's understandable that you're just trying to keep the shape intact. There are times when you'll have to concede that strategic advantage, that positional advantage. Until and unless it's a last-ditch effort, I really don't think that it makes any sense. Another long ranger being thumped in, but Scott Murray standing tall there, eventually denying any space whatsoever to the opposition. And I think Jess Sutar is back on the ground now as an outfield player as well. So, which means whatsoever strategy that was being deployed by Stan Buzz, Joshua Stan Buzz, I think right now he just wants his players to calm down, keep things in place, and not try something extraordinary and something as rash as he was trying to by playing Jayesh at times up front and then eventually Scott when the team went back for a defensive maneuver.
That's right, and they don't want to take any more risks going forward in the last final few seconds in the first half. This goes out wide for a restart, a goal kick for Dorji Bhutia. 30 seconds is what we are left with. Gets to the end of it, gets the cross in, was anticipating. Somebody placed in centrally there. Pratik Swami is back on the court. Can he be that telling difference between these two sides? Steven Stevens at the moment. Corbett FC to Golazo FC to. It's going to be a battle of nerves from here on. Corbett FC haven't been tested right throughout the competition, and so is Golazo. Scored goals left, right, and center. Goals of high magnitudes in large volumes. Here's another cross there, gets it blocked.
Just to add to a bit of what you just said right now, Junaid, I think more than them being tested, I think it's also a testimony to their dominion. And with that, we'll come to the end of the first half of extra time. First 5 minutes are over, and now after a customary shuffle of sides, it's going to be another 5 minutes. As things stand, it's still 2-all here at the Swarnim Gujarat Sports University. Final 5 minutes before we head into the penalties, possibly to decide that who's going to come out victorious. As the two teams rally back in for the final 5 minutes of the contest. And I think they are going to go all guns blazing. These 5 minutes, they are crucial because eventually at the end of the day, both the teams are still locked at an impasse. So which means one goal is what can eventually rattle the nerve of both the sides. So both the teams, they will be desperate for the next goal. And you never know which side it's going to come from. Junaid, it has been absolutely brilliant so far. How would you rate this finale after covering the tournament throughout?
It's been a very good tournament to cover, Rohit, because the number of goals, the kind of futsal, the skills we have seen was unmatchable. And then right at the very end, the kind of stuff we are being presented with. Two top teams who've made two deserving finalists in Corbett FC and Golazo, putting up quite a show for those 40 minutes and still going on pretty strong. High stakes, and they don't want to go down definitely without a fight. Here's a Sachin. Goes back to Jayesh. Golazo trying to make things work for them. Golazo have looked better, but Corbett FC somehow have found answers. They have looked vulnerable through the center, hasn't been enough midfield play coming from Corbett FC in this game. Haven't seen the likes of Lal Swanga on the ball consistently in the first half. Pratik Swami there gets the final touch to it and sees a kick into Golazo. Still sticking in with the starting five. He had Mohammad Rizwan barring one change. That too late in the added-on time in the shape of Pratik Swami. Jayesh hustling for the ball with Pratik. Pratik gets it eventually, but there's a tackle coming in from Sachin, and Pratik Swami goes down on the court.
It was quite a somersault, to be honest. But yeah, it's good to see that he's not injured. Let's take a look at this one. Yeah. Oh, that was definitely some acrobatics for display. I don't think it was intentional. He just kept his ground there. Sachin just kept his ground. This can be a bit of trouble. Not really. Oh, looks like it's a free kick. It's a free kick just from the edge of the arc. And FC may just have a very good chance with 3 minutes remaining on the clock. You never know. It can be trouble. They eventually scored that all important second goal with 3 minutes 11 seconds remaining, and then within just 11 seconds, Golazo restored parity. But is it gonna be all the same this time? Can they eventually get this opening for themselves? You never know. They have got two of their best players up front. They have got the likes of PC Lalrod Sangha, who's out there, and he has been joined in by Pratik Swami. Pratik Swami, he has been very consistent throughout the game. I think whatever has been asked from him, he's delivered. They've also got Lal Biagzuala right at the center of the edge there, right at the center of the arc. Here's an opportunity quickly taken. Lal Biagzuala takes one and rather steers it farther away. I think I would say Lal Biagzuala, what he did, that was pretty decent because he had to move. He just couldn't keep it straight because the way the defensive reinforcements closed down the avenues for Corbett FC, he had to take a step. He had to take a detour. But then eventually it wasn't precise enough to get that all-important opening for Corbett FC. And Junaid, I would just make you wait for a few more seconds. I know you've been waiting for a long time. I think we have given a lot of credit to the players. We have given a lot of credit to the teams for sure. But I think AIFF also deserves a special shout out for hosting this tournament along Ranger, but that goes wide. I think AIFF, they've done a phenomenal job. This is the third edition of the tournament, and I think right from the accommodation, from the players coming in, from their organization, from organizing this tournament picture perfectly, I think AIFF, they absolutely deserve a loud shout out.
Shot comes in. In from the distance. This time from Corbett. Referee's going to have a quick word there, and looks like there was a bit too much of a talking going on from the sidelines, and has decided to book one of the players out there on the bench. Just making sure things get sorted out. Another card comes out. This time for the goalkeeper on the sidelines. Reserve goalkeeper, perhaps, should I say. There's Lal Biagzuala there. Shot comes in and almost snatched at it. We definitely don't want to take it down to the penalties. Both these teams, Mohammad Rizwan there, a bit animated. Lansang Kima for Jayesh. Is operating more from the left in these last final 5 minutes. It's going to be a goal kick now in favor of Corbett FC.
I think they really won't like Golazo FC coming close enough. They'll try and push the ball as far away as they can from their own goal because Golazo FC, they are such a dangerous side. I mean, they can sniff out even the finest of openings. All they need is just one sniff at it, and that's it. They will be pulling the trigger. They won't wait. Yeah, decent tussle out in that central channel there, but eventually well done and very well taken care of as well. This can be a bit of danger looming large on the horizon, but very good interception there coming in from Sachin Patil. Sachin keeps it to Lal Sankima possibly on the right. Yeah, it is Lalsan Kima. Back to Sachin again. Sachin pushes it towards the far left. Shabazz dodges in. Shabazz trying to create that opening there. Plays it to Jayesh on the far left. Back to Shabazz again. Back to Sachin. Sachin has a very robust shot at his disposal, but he eventually decides to pass it, trying to kill those crucial seconds. Not entirely sure whether Golazo FC will like to try and take it to the tiebreaker altogether, because they have got Scott Moraes. Make no mistake, he is an eclipsing goalkeeper under the sticks. He's very tall, he's very towering. So obviously they will have that advantage going forward. Another shot, another haywire shot to be honest. And 90 seconds, 98 seconds to be precise, remaining on the clock.
It's going to be a very exciting set of 90 seconds. I'm not quite sure if Corbett FC would like to take it down to the penalties, as they have sat back right throughout this game and have opened up occasionally when they move the ball forward. We haven't seen enough of the midfield play coming from them. Haven't seen enough chances created. They have give a lot of space and time on the ball to Golazo. Golazo have used it to their advantage quite effectively. And the numbers tell us a story. A lot of attacks coming towards Dorji Bhutia. Goes to the ground there, goes to the court perhaps. And Aaron De Costa having a quick word. Still got 1 minute and 15 seconds left in the finals.
Take a look at this man, Scott Richard Moraes, captain of the team, always has a smile on his face. No matter what kind of pressure his team is dealing with, no matter what position his team is dealing with, he's got a smile on his face. And I think that just tells you that how confident he is about his own players, how much faith he's got in his own players. And when a captain has that kind of faith, I think it goes without saying, it's like the ultimate faith that can be vested in a player. It's like the ultimate call to glory altogether. And I think that is exactly what you want to see from your skipper, leading from the very back, if we may say. That's another quick shot! My word, that is the goal there! Corbett FC has broken the deadlock with 58 seconds to go! This can very well be the winning blow, and it is the leading goal scorer of the tournament, PC Lalwat Sangha. What have we just witnessed? Golazo FC has been silenced, while Swarnim Gujarat Sports University explode into manic frenzy.
The cross came in and commit the hour, commit the man.
Corbett FC by jersey number 12.
PC Lalwat
Sangha.
Sangha getting his 16th, but the most important goal of the campaign for him. Is that the winner are we seeing? They have got one of their hand on the trophy, Corbett FC. They have to play out the final few seconds. Do we have a response coming in from? There was one for all of us to see. Shot taken again from the right. Here's Jayesh. Lal Sankima. Under pressure are Golazo. Defending in numbers at the back now are Corbett FC. They have had to do it one more time. They'll have to do it once again. Golazo. Every time a question has been asked of them, they have answered quite effectively, and again trailing this game, gained against the run of play. Corbett FC find themselves ahead.
And now Scott Moraes, he'll definitely have to step up. There are no other options remaining. They will need that equalizer at all costs. A long ranger takes the deflection, goes out for a big game. That is it! The champions have been crowned, and it is Corbett FC, the crowned winners of the third edition of AIFF Club Futsal Championship. And what a dramatic end to what has been an absolutely blockbuster finale. Take a bow, Corbett FC, take a bow. That's what happens when you hang in there, when you don't give up. It's heartbreak definitely for Golazo FC, but they fought and they fought like the true warriors. Nonetheless, eventually at the end of the day, it's gonna be Corbett FC who kept their nerves, who hung in there, who weathered the storm, and eventually rattled the gates of their opposition to go knocking up front as the champions of the third edition.
That's right, and a game worthy of the finals. Two top teams, undefeated, unbeaten, making their way through to the finals. And on the day, Corbett FC, who looked like they were down and out, who looked like they were sitting back and not creating enough chances. The midfield had gone missing. Golazo taking those strikes, and every time they moved the ball forward, they found some answers. Corbett FC scoring the first. That was cancelled out. Scored the second. Was equalized in a span of 11 seconds. And just in the last minute, with seconds left, that man, Lal Ratswanga, getting the winner. Crowned champions now, Corbett FC, the team from the hills of Uttarakhand. Still can't believe it. It'll take some time for them to sink in. But it's all over in the end. Handshakes all around. And what a final we have just witnessed, Rohit.
I would say it was the game of the tournament. Make no mistake, it was definitely the game of the tournament. A battle that oscillated from one end to the other. A battle that witnessed two greats of the game coming against each other. And we said this before, they were undefeated. I think Scott even said it at the very beginning. He mentioned that someone will have to taste the defeat. And I think it's a hard truth, Junaid, because at the end of the day, it goes without saying, at the end of the day, when you are playing a game, when you are participating in a competition, a few will win, a few will lose. But that doesn't go ahead and detract anything from the Golazo FC. But Corbett FC, I think, I would like to quote one of the very famous Hollywood dialogues altogether from Rocky Balboa. It's not about how hard you can hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. I think Corbett FC, they took quite a few hits. They weathered one shot after the other. They kept on standing. They kept on delivering. And when the occasion called for, arriving like a bolt of lightning from the skies here at the Swarnim Gujarat Sports University, they stepped up, and they stepped up in style.
That's right, and again, that man, PC Lal Ratswanga, rising up to the occasion and delivering when the team were desperate. He had a quiet game, was fortunate with the second goal, and then just before the end of the added-on time. Now, in case if you have missed out on the action, this is exactly how it panned out. Jayesh there, taking the strike, and Dorji standing tall on it. Lansankima, another tender strike towards Dorji Bhutia, who had to make quite a few saves in both the halves. Golazo were relentless right throughout the finals. Scott Richard. And here's the opening goal. Lal Biagzwala. Pratik Swami there, finding Lal Biagzwala, who managed to get to the end of it, and with an outstretched right leg, right foot perhaps, getting it into the back of the net.
And the game kept on going forward, and that is how Stephen Satarkar eventually came knocking on the doors, restored parity. I mean, it was just brilliant, wasn't it? It was a treat to watch. The way these two teams, they kept on knocking on the doors. I would say this is just so good, so good. And that was another opportunity, and we did see a few good saves as well. I think both the goalkeepers were right at the top of the game talking about a save, that was one of them. I think Dorji Bhutia and Scott Morais, they kind of complemented each other. Sadly enough, they were playing for different teams altogether. There was another chance, but it was dragged wide. They did come close enough, and then a few fouls as well. When you are playing a high octane game in contact sport, you would see a few players going down, you would see a few players being tripped and fouled. But I think at the end of the day, what matters is that you remain out there. What matters is that after the rivalry takes shape, after the rivalry is done, you eventually shake hands. And that was another close chance, and it was dragged wide. It was a long ranger, but very well saved as well there from Dorji Bhutia. And I mean, no matter how many words we say, how many words we pile up for these two goalkeepers, I think that wouldn't do justice, Junaid. Won't you agree to that? Won't you agree to that, rather?
Well, that's right. And both the goalkeepers on the day getting the job done were called into action on quite a few occasions, especially Bhutia consistently in the first half and a bit more in the second as well. Then this one going inside from Lal Ratswanga was cancelled out in a span of 11 seconds. Jayesh there, designated goalkeeper, coming on and from a close range beating Dorji Bhutia. Had a couple of chances that hit the woodwork on both sides of the court. This is Jayesh going wide of the target.
And that is where it all flipped. Aaron Di Costa with the cross, and Lalwat Sangha with a lightning bolt driven through the dreams of Golazo FC. Yes, heartbreak for a few and jubilations for a few, but I think that is what it is all about. You just can't have all glory, and that's the prized silverware. That's what it was all about. That's what the teams played. And now, as we await the dignitaries to take center stage, we would request you to stay tuned. This has been an incredible tournament. It kept on delivering one good game after the other. It kept on delivering some serious talent on offer. Yes, obviously, there were a few lapses, there were a few downfalls. At the end of the day, that is what it is all about. I think you just cannot have all the greats coming in. You cannot have only glorious moments bedecking your journey. I think the best part about a journey is how you live it through the downs, through the waxen veins, through the crest and troughs. And I think this tournament, it delivered to its billing. It was so important that both these teams, all the teams who were a part of this tournament,
Hello.
they kept on fighting till the very end. And we did get what was a terrific, terrific finale. That's the stats for you. 49% for Corbett FC ball possession, 51 for Golazo Football Club, 21 shots from Corbett FC. Golazo almost opened their arsenal to the very end, 39 of them. 12 shots on target for Corbett, 17 for Golazo, 11 saves by Dorji Bhutia, 9 from Scott Morais. 4 corners for Corbett, 6 for Golazo FC, 4 fouls each, 1 yellow card each. These stats are powered by Sports KPI. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be now bringing to you the presentation ceremony. And just to give you all a reminder, the final scoreline of the grand finale, Corbett FC 3, Golazo Football Club 2.
साहब ले लिया था मैं BFN તમારું નામ ટ્રોફી દેવામાંથી કઢાવી નાખું તમારું નામ ટ્રોફી લેવામાં દેવામાં રાખવાનો દેવામાં મજા નહીં આવે દેવામાં મજા આવે
करारे सर स्टार्ट करा
What a fantastic match to finish an incredible journey of the AIFF Futsal Club Championship 2023-24. Surely the last match of the tournament lived up to its hype and did not disappoint the fans here and those watching the game live from their homes. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to shift our focus to the post-match presentation ceremony of the AIFF Futsal Club Championship 2023-24.
All the viewers, the presentation ceremony will be starting pretty soon. Do join us as we take you through live to the ground announcer.
I would like to request Mr. Rajdeep C. Jadeja to come to the stage. I would like to request our esteemed dignitaries to make their way to the stage, starting with Professor Dr. Arjun C. Rana, Vice Chancellor, Swarnim Gujarat Sports University. Following Shri Vijay Bali, AIFF Executive Committee Member and the Chairman of AIFF Futsal Committee. Shri Satyanarayan Muthialu, Acting Secretary General of All India Football Federation. Mr. Yogesh Bhai Joshi, Registrar Swarnim Gujarat Sports University. And Mr. Mulraj C. Chudasma, AFC Futsal and Beach Soccer Committee Member and Secretary of GSFA. And Rajdeep C. Jadeja. I would like to call Mr. Rajdeep C. Jadeja to felicitate Professor Dr. Arjun C. Rana. Please give a huge round of applause to Dr. Professor Arjun C. Rana. Next, I would like to call Mr. Hardeep Maji Rana to felicitate Mr. Yogesh Bhai Joshi. Ladies and gentlemen, give a huge round of applause to Yogesh Bhai Joshi. Now, I would like to call Dhruvit Gupta to felicitate Shri Vijay Bali. Give a huge round of applause to Vijay Bali. Next, I would like to call Divyaraj C. Rana to felicitate Satyanarayan Muthialu. Give a huge round of applause to Satyanarayan Muthialu. Now, I would like all the dignitaries to stay on the stage to present the commemorative to the match official. Starting with Mr. Renthilei Malsoma, Mr. Sandesh Sudhir Gadkari, Mr. Piyush Biswas, Mr. Vishnu Purushottamji Chauhan, Mr. Ajay Singh, Mr. Vishal Vaja, Mr. Umang Parmar, and Mr. Kisterling Wanyang, and Mr. Syed Khalil. Now it's time for the individual awards to honor the players who have stood out and performed outstandingly in the AIFF Futsal Club Championship 2023-24. These individuals have been decided based on the performance during the AIFF Futsal Club Championship 2023-24. Starting with an award to the person who is the last line of defense. Yes, I'm talking about the best goalkeeper of the AIFF Futsal Club Championship. And the winner is Ozain Vivian Silva from Ambilim Sports Club. Now, the time for our second individual award, which is for the player who has dazzled us all with their remarkable goal-scoring ability, who has shown incredible ability to find the back of the net. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating the highest goal scorer, PC Lalruat Sangha from Corbett FC. I would like to request Mr. Mulraj C. Chudasma to felicitate the highest goal scorer, PC Lalruat Sangha. Give a huge round of applause, everyone. Now, on to the most awaited individual award of the tournament. The best player of the championship, the one player who has stood out in the tournament with his consistency and sublime performance. We would request Shri Mulraj C. Chudasma to present the trophy to Mr. Lal Sang Kima from Golazo FC for his incredible run of form in this tournament. Now it's time for the team prizes. We come to the team prizes. This award is to honor the team who has shown highest standard of fair play throughout the tournament. It's my honor to announce the hire of the Fair Play Trophy, Baroda Football Academy. I would like to request Mr. Yogesh Joshi to give the Fair Play Trophy Moving up to the next, now it's time to honor the team that fought hard and showcased remarkable talent throughout this tournament to come this far. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, give a huge round of applause to the runners-up of the championship, Golazo FC. I would like to request Mr. Satyanarayan Muthialu to give the medals. Ladies and gentlemen, give a huge round of applause to the runners-up, Golazo FC. I would like to request the captain of Golazo FC to come and collect a check of rupees 2 lakh from Shri Satyanarayan Muthialu. I would like to congratulate the runners-up. Now it's time to welcome today's winners and the champions of the AIFF Futsal Club Championship 2023-24. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the champions, Corbett FC. I would like to request the captain of Corbett FC to come and collect a check of rupees 2 lakh from Mr. Satyanarayan Muthialu. And now I would like the captain to collect the trophy from Mr. Vijay Bali. Now I would like the captain to collect the trophy from Mr. Arjun C. Rana. Give it up for the champions, Corbett FC. Congratulations once again to the champions of the AIFF Futsal Club Championship, Corbett FC.